Right, we're back for another episode of the Vinyl Collective. As usual, you got me, Top Sadiq, with my co-host, John.
John.
But we also got
Yep,
another
here as
person,
ever.
and yeah, he comes from a different place. So I'm gonna introduce him in quite a different way. So I don't know if you guys are fans of like Futurama, right? So I used to watch Futurama quite a lot when I was a kid, and there was this episode, right, where Fry finds the lost city of Atlanta. So it's the year 3000, it's underwater, right? He found this lost city, and he loves it there. He really wants to stay, but there was one thing wrong, right? So when he met this lovely mermaid he was going to spend the rest of his life with, he realized, he can't really lay down with her. That doesn't really work, does it? So he went straight back to Earth, and that was that. I remember one time, again, back in my young strapping lad days, I had to go to a party in this weird place I'd never been before. And a friend just sent me the postcode. I was like, okay, I've never heard of this place before. And I was like, are you sure? B1? Like, I've never heard that place. Okay, whatever. Cool. So I take the postcode now, go to the place. And it's a really nice place. The people speak really weird. They seem to worship this bull for whatever reason. I don't know what that's about, but whatever. So have that now. Then the party, the night's great, everything's great. And I'm like, oh wow, this city is really good. Like, I don't know why I've never been here. So then there was this girl, and I suppose this girl was like, okay, this is such a great city. Why does no one stay here? And she's like, oh, it's a really good city, but Tim Westwood performs every night, so there's that. And I was like, right, cool. I gotta get the fuck out of here, mate, because I'm not saying no place where Tim Westwood performs every single month, but there's one good guy here from that city, and that is Sixpad. That's a long-winded intro, but
that's the best intro we've had so far.
That's the best intro stuff.
Yeah.
That's the best intro. I've heard of it, so that's the best one that I've heard.
So yeah, no, obviously Birmingham's an all right place, but yeah, once I heard that, mate, I was not staying around. But how you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Just making content now. I'm setting up a playlist at the minute, which for 9 Bills. Shout out to 9 Bills. The playlist is essentially to give UK artists that aren't your link up, your GRM, daily mixtape madness type of people. It's to give them a spotlight on what they're doing. So hopefully that goes well. It's called Next Up, so look out for that.
Okay, cool.
Cool.
Why don't we just get into that? Let's talk about the 9 Bills platform. Like, how did that come to be? I thought the numbers a bit weird. Like I thought, was it like a group where there's like a 3 pad and a 6 pad and it's like a 9? Like, what's going on? What's going on with that?
You know what? You're not the first person to say that to me. Actually, someone has said that to me before. Someone was like, "Oh, so is there's 9 Bills, there's 6 pad, is there 3 something more?"
Yeah.
And I was like, nah. Basically, what happened was I was just on Twitter in lockdown. Yeah, bored as everyone else, scrolling through the timeline. I just said, you know what? I want to start writing reviews, man. Like just for our platform, innit? And obviously 9 Bills already followed me. So at that point, then they messaged me straight away, like, "Oh, yeah, you can write for us." So I was like, "What?" So the guy was like, "Oh yeah, here's my number." Blah blah. He sent me his number and that was talking. I was like, I'm getting a good vibe from him. And yeah, like I wrote the Insomnia review.
Okay.
Then I wrote the infamous Gang review, which everyone slated. Listen, John, this is why I said you have sense on it.
Oh, yeah,
I respect that album, man. Like,
I agree with you as well, mate.
You know what it is, though? You know what it is? I'm not respecting it more from the stupidness of things like what Heady One done yesterday at it with the playing thing.
Oh gosh,
it's losing its credibility for me for those type of reasons, and but musically it's a great album. And then I did the Cadet album with them, and then following from that, then Link Up hollered me to do H's Polaris album, and I did the Nines review for Link Up as well. But yeah, man, with 9 Bills, it's just been a kind of very, very good relationship, man. Met a lovely journalist called Tandy. You guys need her on here as well, man.
Who? Sorry?
Super good. Tandy. She's good. She does a Tandy.
Oh, I think I've seen you interact. Yeah, Tandy, if you're listening, yeah, jump on the show. You're welcome anytime.
Yeah, man, she's very good. Knows her music well. But yeah, man, it's been a very good thing. And now I run the social media for them. So anytime anything goes viral, it's me that has tweeted them.
Yeah, take that credit.
Yeah.
Go on, I love that. Go on.
Yeah.
I kind of like that. I've had 2 viral moments so far. which has been kind of funny. But yeah, apart from that, that's just my thing, man. How are you guys?
Yeah. Yeah, actually, I was going to ask you about that. So, like, obviously on the website, you've got all the blog posts and stuff. Like, it seems like you've got a pretty big or kind of a diverse team around you. Like, how did you come across these people, or did they like reach out to you?
So you have to give the credit to the founder, now Snine Bills. He basically he's recently just got a team full of writers. So I think there's about 9 writers.
Yeah.
Ra, who you had on the show last week for the Heady One review, she's a part of the writing team. Then you got like Casey Dorney. She writes a lot for Link Up.
You also got like Amanda the Great as well.
You've got Amanda as well.
Yeah.
You've got Ebenezer, who's also a part of it. You got a guy called Johnny. He's sick as well. There's a lot of people in there. Sorry if I missed anyone, but I've just literally I've been prepared to say it. So yeah, if you've been studying, apologize. But yeah.
No worries. Yeah, and also it says like from what I've seen, you say you're like a freelance A&R. So what does that consist of? Just like 'cause I don't think I've really spoken to someone who's an A&R. So it'd be kind of good to kind of get some insight into that as well.
Do you know what? All right, here's the thing, yeah. So, I didn't actually know like I was doing it, and it like as weird as it sounds. So people were sending me music all the time, like my friends in Birmingham and London artists and stuff through email, and I was getting back to them like, oh yeah, this could be better. You need to do this. But I was like, instead of like a couple of artists have said to me like, this is such like good insight on what I need to do and what I need to improve. Rather than just someone saying, oh yeah, it's hard, or I didn't like it. Like I'm giving them paragraphs of like, okay, this might work, this might not work, and this is what you need to do. I like the beat here. I like this. I like when you've done that. The cadence here was this, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, it's just like, I don't work for a company at the minute. I've got a couple of things in the pipeline to try and get me a job within the industry. So hopefully I do have something lined up soon. But yeah, that's basically freelancing. What I do at the minute on the side.
See, that sounds like the fun side of things, because all I get right now is just people trying to send me songs of artists that I don't like and trying to convince me to like those artists, which is just way worse. Like people be like, oh, please, no, that's like, just to go on a bit of a tangent. I hate when people do that, because if I have to listen to an artist and I have to see it through the way your lens, like for example, I already know I'm not gonna like that album. Like you can't be like, oh, watch out for the way he does this and like. If I like, I'm gonna pick it up. Do you know what I mean? Like, there might be a very few exceptions where that might maybe the case where like maybe the whole concept goes over your head. But yeah, like stop trying to say, like, for example, look, don't send me like, I don't know, who do I like? Okay, if you send me a Stormzy album, I'm not gonna be like, you know what? I've changed my whole mind. I've converted. Like it's not like it's not like a confessional with a pastor or something. Like, you can't just come to me with your music skills and just think I'm gonna like give you the right answer. But no, that's actually pretty cool, to be honest. Yeah, hopefully the job search goes well, man.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry, I had to shut my door and there was loads of noise. So I tried to be discreet about it. But yeah, man. And obviously, I'm still do YouTube and stuff like that. Just on the recent it was a one-sided beef, really, the chip thing, which I really enjoyed.
Where were you on that?
What do you mean?
Where did you fall on that?
All right, safe. So everyone said that Chip never sent for Stormzy, and Stormzy just took offense to Waze. I think when people say like, he was sending for Mez, I do hear that, but I think half of the verse was for Mez and I think half of it was for Stormzy. So I do think he had a right to bring out the verse on I Don't Know. And then when Chip brought out Flowers and Killer MC, I think where he messed up was when he put at the start, when he said mixtape coming soon.
Yeah.
Because if I'm an artist, if I'm an artist manager and I see that, and you're Stormzy's manager and you see, Chip's got a mixtape coming soon. If we engage in this beef now, that's just gonna raise the eyes on him for the moment. So what's the point? So you might as well let him drop his mixtape, because coming soon. When did Flowers come out? It come out nearly a month ago now. Yeah. And I bet you we don't probably hear it until January, this mixtape, because I think Stormzy played it really smart. I do think we're going to get a reply eventually, but I think it's within his time.
But I think that's bullshit though, because
do you think that's what he's doing? That's what I'm going to say. Yeah. Is he actually just waiting, or is he just he
just
thinks
think
he's
about
above
it like, just think about it like this, innit? If like, I'm not being funny. If like, I'm Stormzy, and he is the biggest artist in the UK, and no matter how much you want to piece it to, he is the biggest in it. Not the best.
Then he's
the
a big
biggest.
artist by far.
He's
for
the
sure.
biggest in it. You're the biggest artist in the UK. And you're battling Chip, who is probably going to win. Like you were there, Tope, when I was at Chord, and I was saying that I think it would be close.
Yeah.
I don't think it would be a whitewash completely, but I think Stormzy would lose. And if he goes into that like knowing, okay, I could potentially take an L here, why am I going to do it knowing that he's going to drop an album straight after that? It's like Drake bit the bait with, Pusha T.
Yeah, no.
So it's like, but that was kind of done totally different because obviously Infrared came out, and Infrared's the bestest in that whole
I
beef.
fully agree with that
because it's very like pulley punchy, like you know, it was written like Nas, but it came from Quinton. Like when I heard that, like, and then when he was like, CEOs blinded by the glow, it's different. Like obviously they had the tune on a More Life called Glow, different. So Drake bit the bait on that, and obviously Pusha already had the kid thing in his pocket. You know what I mean? So, and I feel like Chip has not Chip, Pusha, sorry, had the kid thing in his pocket, and I feel like Chip has something on Stormzy in his pocket.
Maybe he's trying to rate it to Maya or something.
If we're being honest,
that would be madness.
as good as Flowers is, that's like Chip at 30%, you know.
Yeah. But are you one of those
like he
people,
didn't actually say anything?
I don't know. Are you one of those people that subscribe to the Chipmunk cult, where it's like, I guess people think like, even though Chip hasn't been like an elite rapper, he's a good rapper, but he hasn't been an elite rapper for some time now. But I think people always kind of talk him as if like he can always just pull that out of the bag, and I'm not sure about that. Like, is it just like historical credit we're giving him, and we're just kind of assuming he can do it, or is it something that you think he actually can do in 2020?
I do agree with that. Like, I think because obviously he beat Bugsy Malone and stuff like that. Like, a lot of people do overhype him a bit. But that's my thing, and that's why I say I think the Stormzy battle would be a bit harder, because I personally didn't think Stormzy would beat Wiley up the way he did. Like, that was like a year 7 versus a year 11. Obviously, Wiley's like 20 years removed from where he was. But like, I didn't feel like he had that. Like when he said Heathrow Terminal 4, and he was like calling his mum a whore, and all this thing, and he's like, he said about his sister, and he was like, tell a little bitch not can I swear?
They've got family.
Oh, he was like, tell a little bitch not ask for pictures or whatever. I didn't think he had that aggression in him. Like, do you know what I mean? So I do think if the
all us
Stormzy
holding a
thing
cup
is
of
supposed
tea
to happen,
too.
yeah, exactly. Like, so I just think if that was to happen, it's gonna be a fun watch, innit? It's gonna be a fun watch.
I think so as well, but I think it's what I think about is when Meek Mill took quite a long time to reply, and when he did, a lot of people were just like over it. Like they wouldn't even want to give it the attention it deserved, whether it was good or not. So I wonder if Stormzy kind of just waits, then would I just ignite another beef where Chips is going to send another song, or is it like, cause I don't feel like it's going to be a thing where Stormzy sends his reply and that's that. It's probably going to spark like something else early on in that year.
To flip that on its head though, Chip took, what was it, 5 months to reply to Bugsy?
Oh, okay, fair.
And I know he made 3 tunes or something. It was a very long time. I think it was 5 months, if I'm honest.
So it's been a while. I didn't know it was that long. Fair enough.
Yeah, but then he dropped 3 tunes. Like, I think it was like Light Work, Regulation Rhythm, and Hat Trick. So if Stormzy was to kind of emulate that, then boy, let's just say it would be a very fun time for me and the reaction community.
No, as much slack as I give Stormzy, I feel like if he is gonna do anything, it would be to beat another rapper in a beef, because that's kind of how he made his name with the whole Wicked Scanman series and all that stuff. Like, he does seem like he has the battle rapper to him. So no, I agree with you. I think it'd be quite interesting to watch for sure.
Yeah, it would be a very interesting watch. Yeah.
Cool. So this week we have our Spotlight series, as every week, but this week we're going to have Saba as our Project Spotlight. Are you a fan of Saba, Six Flags?
I do intend to listen to him, because I heard Care For Me is a crazy album. I heard Care For Me is a crazy album.
Insane album.
Like, you know what it is with me, yeah? I like all these new age rappers, yeah. Like, I just, you know what it is? I take a look at them, yeah. If I don't like the look of them, I can't listen because I just think, are you gonna like sing to me like Trippie Redd or something? Like I can't. I don't know, man. Like I only listened to Mac Miller the other day. Like this is what I'm saying.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Bro, if you go on my channel, there's a Mac Miller series,
and
I listen to Divine Feminine, Swimming, and Circles. Swimming 2009 is there's 2 tunes with the best strings I've ever heard. One is Devil in the New Dress, and 2009 is second. I don't care. The strings on that song is insane.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
Insane.
He brought you back, Joe. You were like, "What? How dare you?" He's like, "Oh, you know, he likes the songs. He's like, we can accept him. No worries."
Yeah, no. But yeah, it was a very good watch, man. Like it was a very good watch, and you know, I'm trying to implement a way where I can listen to these artists on my channel, but it's just not come to fruition yet. So I'm gonna see if I can do that in the near future. But I do definitely want to listen to Saba. Is it Saba or Saba?
Whichever one, mate. I don't know the guy, so fuck it. We'll call it if we want.
Yeah.
What do you think of Saba, John?
No, he's class. Yeah. I mean, I think the first time I came to listen to his music was probably like 2017. I think it was just before Care For Me came out. It was probably you, Tops, that got me onto him. Oh,
really?
Fair.
Okay, because I didn't really start listening to him until Care For Me.
Really?
I'd heard of him, but I never.
I'm giving you credit, but
I think Care For Me was the first time I really just sat down and listened to a Star project. And then I went backwards and did the Bucket List project and stuff like that.
Yeah. But yeah, Care For Me was an album, and he's also one of those artists that can just like. I know a lot of his music's more kind of on the like emotional side, but he can make you cry. Like Heaven All Around Me.
For sure,
I still remember.
For sure. Yeah, I think that was like one of my most played songs of that year. Like that was really a motive song, and just the story behind the album. I know you love stories, CJ. I know you love stories. So like, if
love a story,
if you're a big fan of a story, I think you should definitely give this album a listen because
I love a story. You know what it is, obviously my favorite albums are stories, and I love conceptual stuff. This is why the Heady One album was so great to me, because it was a story and people missed it completely.
Yeah, until you said that, I would have never picked it up, like not in a million years. So that was massive.
John, did you clock? Yeah, you see, on track 2 in Gang, when he's like 4 months and I ain't been home. Obviously, he's talking about his start in the game, yeah. And then the next track is Judge Me with FKA Twigs. And if you listen to it like this, she plays a judge, and when her vocals are like step, and then he's like, "Oh, don't judge me. I was broke. And I love myself," or something like this. Yeah. And he said, "Nobody loved me," or whatever. And then he like builds up, and she was like, "I told her I was done with this." Like he told the judge he's done with the life, blah blah. And she sentenced him.
I did not clock that.
And then the next song is Charades, where he's like, "Yo, Fred, just got myself into a few situations." Bro, the album is ridiculous. I'm gonna listen to it again today. You know, after this, I'm gonna listen to it.
That's why I'm so surprised. Like even when we had Ori in the studio, it's like people just acting like
I got a bit of heat for that.
Yeah, people just acting like it's just some sort of like a medium album. Like no, I think it's definitely one of the best albums this year. Like for sure, like US or UK,
listen,
like for
if
sure.
If you give Tops and John heat for liking the album, watch my end of year review that's coming on the 27th of December. Yeah, no, trust me, because I'm gonna get a few people mad, but no one can tell me nothing because I die on a hill. I die on a hill. Like no one can tell me nothing. Like what? People want to tell me pot of paper? Bye. People want to tell me nines. Okay, album's sick, but it's too long, man. Like
it is quite long, fair. It is quite long.
Too long, man. Too many throwaways on there, man. What the hell is movie nights, bro?
No,
that song's terrible, man.
It's true. Same with Monster as well. That's
no. You know what? I like Monster because he flips all the names and it. I like that song. But apart from that, though, if we're taking it away, like if we're taking it from a musical perspective, it's not it. Still, it's not it.
No,
it peaks in the middle. There are like maybe 3-4 tracks in the middle that are like, you have airplane mode. NIC.
Well, it's like airplane mode, NIC, lights, and then don't change.
That run is amazing for sure.
Yeah. And then Stalker interlude at the end as well. That's an amazing.
Oh god, I'm gonna put that on my story actually. Cool.
Lines, if you're listening, because you know he does follow me as well. We do love the album.
Come on, there
we go. Little plug in that.
Yeah, Nines, man. I understand. Nines, the studio stuff. I get it, man. Like,
do you know what's mad as well? Yeah, like all my friends was telling me for years, you know, you need to listen to Nines. I was like, nah, man, I ain't got time. Blah blah. And obviously, when Crabs in the Bucket was coming out, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna listen to all his albums in a week. So I listened to Church Road to Hollywood, Gone to November, Loyal to the Soil, all of them, yeah. And I think I put 4 of them, like 4 of my favorites. One Foot Out is amazing. Is it One Foot Out? One Foot Out.
One Foot In. You better say One Foot In, my guy. One Foot In's definitely the best.
One Foot In's the one with the SB. Did you see that one? Yeah, it's a very good tape. Yeah, but you know what? Annoyed me with it, and it's weird. Because I liked it in Church Road to Hollywood. You know the backing track guy, the one that's just talking. I feel like he over talks on it. For me, it's a good tape. It's a good tape. I just feel like he over talks a bit. For me.
I 100% agree. 100% agree.
But yeah, I must have done all them albums in the week, and then I listened to Crabs in the Bucket. Obviously, put it out. He retweeted it, followed me, and then my friends are like, "I'm gonna jump on this YouTube thing, man. What do you mean, Nine's followed you? I've been listening to Mike for 9 years, and he's never done it." I was like, "Bro, it's what it is, isn't it?"
Yeah, literally, the game's the game, innit? I don't hate the player, hate the game.
You get me?
But yeah, man. Add Saba to your list. I think you will like Care for Me. Obviously, it goes through his very tragic loss. Talks about the emotions he dealt with that. The concert was amazing as well, John. If you remember, like there was a mosh pit for that album, which was the strangest thing I've ever seen in my life.
That was a juxtaposition. Everyone had just been like finished crying from the previous song, and then you turn around.
And people just jumping around, like it's like it's maybe because people were just like, it's too heavy. Let me just fuck around, like it's too much. But honestly, no, he's a super good artist. Like I feel like you seem like a guy who likes substance, and again, he has songs that you can just vibe to. But no, I think this album's super good.
Yeah, so, I'll put it on my list though. There's a few albums that I need to listen to, and that's gonna go on there. That was already on there, but it's gonna go higher now. Cool. Since you're telling me it's a story.
Yeah, no, trust me. You're gonna come back. Same with Voodoo. You're gonna come back to me and be like, look, it's amazing. Like,
Nah, because it's not Voodoo amazing. It's not Voodoo amazing.
It's not Voodoo amazing. No.
Listen, I will. Like I die on a hill for the Heady album. I will die on a hill and say Voodoo is the best album of the 20th century. Like I know it came out in 2000. Christ. Yeah, but it was made in the 90s. Everything about it is 90s. God. It's the best album of the 20th century.
You know what, John? I didn't want to say.
I'm distancing myself a little bit now.
No.
I love that album. I love that album, but it's not the best album of the 20th century.
Bro, listen. Yeah, listen.
You know what, John? I didn't want to say.
I am a huge D'Angelo fan, but. No,
it's that or Marvin Gaye. What's going on in it? It's one of them two, and those two are my favorite albums. Like
we're definitely having a Voodoo episode, by the way, John. I didn't want to say it, but you know what? I feel like there's such a meme around it now. We just have to do it at some point. Bro, we're definitely gonna have it. And again, we're gonna bring you back.
The whole mystique of the thing, like
it's a sick album. He
wiped out. He went to Stevie Wonder's Electric Lady Studios, remade it. Like, bro, my biggest thing, anyone who knows me knows I want to go to America, I want to go to New York, and I want to go to Electric Lady Studios.
Yeah,
like
also,
my friend went there. Oh, sorry, go on, John.
Oh no, I was gonna say my girlfriend worked at Electric Lady. She will.
Oh wow,
maybe links there. Who knows? Who knows?
I swear down, because my boy went there, like 2 years ago, and he texted me. He was like, Courtney, I'm at the Mecca, I said, bro. I said, he said, bro, it feels so weird, like being out there, like knowing how many great albums have been made there and stuff like that. Like he said, it was crazy. I said, imagine if someone just walked out of there though, like, because obviously you can't go in there, innit?
Yeah.
You can just watch from the outside. But yeah, the whole mystique of the album, like just everything about it, man. Everything about it, just
Yeah, the man is a legend.
I mean, speaking of old school music, I mean, let's just get into it. Like, we all old school R&B, Voodoo, which again we'll cap for another episode. But let's talk about old school. Let's talk about old school. Let's get the facts right. Let's get the facts right. Cool, no worries. But let's talk about obviously 90s was also quite a good year for hip hop. I mean, if you ask a lot of boomers, they'll say, 90s era, this was the golden age. You know what I mean? Like this was the best period rap ever had and ever will have. So we can start on a whole bunch of routes here. But I was gonna get your quick thoughts, guys. Like, John, what do you think? Is the 90s really just the best period of rap ever?
I mean, I know I'm going to sound like a cliche and I'm okay with it, but 100%. I mean, the 90s was, obviously it was a period of a lot of firsts. And I think that's why, kind of like when you look at like, I guess basketball, right? Everyone's like, oh, MJ or like LeBron James, and like
Yeah.
a lot of people go with MJ because you can't argue with the fact that he was the first, to make basketball a global thing,
Yeah.
like. So I think that's obviously why 90s has a bit of an edge there, and also, I mean, I can't argue with the amount of classic albums that have come out of the 90s. Yeah, for me, yes. Yeah, what about you, Sixpad?
I like LeBron in it, so.
There we
Oh,
go.
boy.
There we go.
Wow.
There we go.
Wow.
Now you know what it is.
I was going to
you know
say,
what it
don't
is?
challenge me on this, but wow.
No. You know what it is? I do agree with you. Yeah, I do agree. I feel like it's the kind of the golden age. Obviously, you had like Illmatic, Reasonable Doubt, like all the Tribe albums, Outkast, Wu-Tang. Like, so I do get it in it, but I just feel like, when people say, "Oh yeah, we're never gonna get those days back," or "We're never gonna get players that are better." Like, for example, if you're using the basketball thing, but there's people that are doing stuff today that like are better than what people were doing back then. Like, I say to people, if Kendrick Lamar on his next album drops anything over a 9 out of 10, he's the best rapper of all time.
Facts.
Because no one's had a better
Straight
run
facts.
of albums ever. And people are like to me, "Oh, you're mad, Biggie, Tupac." I'm like, that's fine, but I feel like you're just looking from a nostalgic place. Do you get me? Because if we're being serious, Tupac never had a great album till was it Me Against the World?
Yeah.
Or was it Me Against the World?
Yeah, I think it was Me Against the World.
It was a couple albums.
It was
in
2-3 albums in, yeah, for sure, yeah.
But Kendrick's had Good Kid, Mad City, arguably a rap classic.
Definitely.
You've had To Pimp a Butterfly, a rap classic. In fact, a musical classic. Damn, which was a bit shorter of the first two. However, it's still a very, very good album. And then the next one, obviously, when it comes, like, bro, like, I'm telling you, no one's done that.
I'm going to disagree with you.
Nobody's
I'm going to disagree with you 100%.
There we go on.
Nas. Okay. Illmatic, it was written. I am.
Safe.
Nostradamus, still Matic. Nostradamus, maybe you can take out, sure, but that's still 5. Come on.
Bro, Jay-Z said, what did he say? He said, that's one hat album on your average.
That's what
Bro.
I'm thinking.
Bro.
One was
valid, bro. Especially with I Am, bro. Never. It was written, and Illmatic, I'll give you like if we go across the board, we can go to Eminem. He had the Slim Shady Show. He had Marshall Mathers LP, and then he dropped what was the other album?
Can't remember. That's the first two though.
It's like the Eminem show, and then Encore or something like that, innit?
Yeah.
Like, and then Encore is the
yeah.
one that flopped. Like, then you've got who else? Like, we can
Even Jay-Z after the first album.
Like,
Not many people call
Jay-Z,
his first
Reasonable
few albums
Doubt.
classic.
In My Lifetime, Volume 1, I hate.
Yeah,
Like, I
same.
think it's terrible.
I think Volume was awful. And my friend keeps recommending me that shit. It's like, no, it's absolutely horrible, mate. Like,
Yeah, my friends tried to get me to like
Yeah,
it.
they was like,
bro,
oh, the intro's so
it's
sick.
not a good album,
No,
man.
it's so
It's
awful.
really not a good album, innit? But I just think, like, back to the like conversation. I think nostalgia clouds a lot of people's judgment in everything.
Yes.
Like,
Agreed.
even like I was talking to someone the other day, and I said, "Yo," because I was like, "Oh, who's the best in R&B like ever?" There was like Usher. I said, "But why?" They goes, "Oh yeah, all the nostalgia, blah blah blah." I said, "Okay, cool." I said, "That's fine, yeah." I said, "But what has he done since Confessions?
Big facts.
What has he done? Like, what has he? If we're being real, what has he actually done? Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to take anything away from him because he gave me Confessions. He gave me Lovers and Friends. He gave me, like, you get me. He's done a few things after, but he hasn't done anything massive.
No, do you know
So
what
I'm
it
like,
is? I think people
You
just
have to look a bit closer in it.
I think people just look at the past, and again, because it's in the past, and you don't want to. I don't know, with anything, right? You just want to remember the good times. Like, oh, it was just so great. Everything was just amazing. Like, I'd have anything to get those days back. But I think we forget some of the fucking shit artists we had in the 90s. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, no, it's like we had some. What was it? That Vanilla Ice guy? Come on, John. Like, there was bare artists like
Vanilla
that.
Ice. Who was the guys that were lip syncing?
Yeah.
Lip syncing.
I can't remember. There was hella shit
Milli
artists.
Vanilli. Oh
Come
my
on,
God.
John.
Yes.
John, there was
Terrible.
bare shit artists, but because again, shit artists aren't remembered, so no one's gonna look at that and be like, oh yeah, there was shit artists. Everyone just looks at the good ones. Same way when we grow up, everyone's just gonna look at the good parts of this decade as well. But yeah, no, I think that's the thing about the 90s that always gets overlooked. Like, yeah, there was a lot of good albums. Like, I feel like every year there was a good album. But again, even when some of these albums dropped in that time, people didn't look at them as classics. Like Reasonable Doubt didn't drop, and people were like, "Oh my god, it's a classic."
Yeah, that's true.
Do you know what I mean?
Illmatic got a 5-star. What am I on about?
No. Illmatic was one of those ones that happened straight away. Even It Was Written was seen as a dud when it came out.
Yeah, that was it. That's what I was talking about.
So there's
no one killed me and tell me that Illmatic went classic as soon as it come out. I remember they got the 5 mics from the source and just leave me alone.
But yeah, no, like I think there's plenty of albums of that where it's like over time. Tribe Called Quest's 4th album, what was it, Beats, Rhymes and Life? Sorry, people like that now. At the time, people were like, what's going on? Like they become way more serious. Like, do you know what I mean? So I think it's just one of those things where. Again, this is also why you need to give albums time at the same time. Like you can't just because you get those little fucks, right? I keep seeing it and it's so annoying. Like an album drops at 12 a.m. and you know exactly who you are. It could be a Wizkid album, whatever. You know exactly
12:01, 12:01,
12:01, 12:23. Oh my god, this is album of the year. Come
Best
on,
thing I've ever heard.
Yeah,
Like,
people like that have to mute straight away because you're gonna make
you know
my
what it
blood
is.
boil.
You know what it is though. I love seeing them tweet that, and then like months later, like I'm not gonna say who it is. I seen someone tweet this about when Nines dropped Crabs in the Bucket.
Yeah,
they was doing their thing at the TI. They was like, best album of all time. 10 out of 10, blah, blah, blah. I was like, yeah, safe. I seen the tweet the other day. Looking back, there's bare throwaways on Nine's album. I'm like, bro, listen. I'm like, you did it. Like, I understand when an album comes out for the first time, it's gas in it. Like when Drake releases Certified Lover Boy, I might say, like, it's an 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 in it. But looking like after when the dust settles, like you're just like, okay, that's what I'm going back to. That's what I'm like. If you're not going,
if you're not going back to it, then you've got your answer. And there's so many albums.
But you know what though?
Like that.
I don't now because if he drops like to Pimp a Butterfly-esque album where you can't go back to it all the time.
No, I get that. No, again, that's the exception that proves the rule though, because how many To Pimp a Butterflies drop? Not many. Like that's why you have to reserve the word classic, in my opinion. Where you can't just look at every album and be like, because people just want to be the first one to call it. They want to be that person. When you look back, like, yeah, see, I said it from the first second it came out that it was a classic. You guys just took long to understand. It's like, come, fuck out my face, man. Like, you can be wrong and still be right in a weird way. Like, you could be right, but just by accident. Do you know what I mean? So, just shit like that. But no,
bro, I know people calling Meat Mill Championships a classic. And I'm like, sorry,
we're not even going to discuss that. We're not even going to discuss that, mate. No, we're not even going to discuss that.
I'm like, how? And I'm like, I think, like, if we look at classic here, it's like I was gonna do a series on this as well on my YouTube channel, and so if anyone takes it, fuck you, innit? But like, I was gonna do the series, and it was gonna be called Still a Classic, innit? And obviously, I know you've talked about this, so we'll kind of get off this quickly. But basically, what the premise was, it was me breaking down the Google definition of what a classic is, and I was gonna do albums on their anniversaries. So I was gearing up to do Take Care. I was gearing up to do Forest Hills Drive. Like all these albums that people think, oh my god, that's their magnum opus. Like,
yeah.
And I just think, I said to my friends the other day, I said, how can 2014 Forest Hills Drive be a classic? And it's got Hello on there, apparently, and Saint Tropez or whatever it's flipping called, is smack bang in the album, and it don't make no sense. How can that be a classic rap record?
Agreed. I
is it just me? Like, is it
no,
just
I agree.
Me?
I fully agree.
I just don't understand it.
It's just the Kool-Aid. You can't resist it, man. It's like, oh, it's so good. Oh, it's so sweet. It's just, it's making you so happy. Like, oh my god, it's just like, oh, he's speaking to me. Oh, I went through that as well. Oh my god. Oh, that girl.
I've got another question after John's, because I want to hear John's opinion on it.
No, go ahead.
Another question. Just on what I said in it, like these like when people say, oh yeah, this is a classic, that's a classic. Like, what's your opinion on like that?
I think I'm completely on the same page. Like, you can't call a classic until a couple years later. I think it's ridiculous. I mean, like, I don't know if you've heard the episode we did on classics, but we tried to set out like a couple of criteria, and one of them has to be like replay value. Over time. Yeah. It has to be like, if you listen to Take Care, like, I don't know. Now, okay,
you're 9 years old. Hey, Judd, we are friends now. We are friends now. We are friends now. Yeah.
I'm gonna say I love the album, but it's 19 songs long. You can take out what, like
5?
a good
Seven.
6, 7 of them. Yeah,
Seven.
a good 6, 7 of them.
100%.
And it's a good album, but it's not. I mean, if you take out almost half the album, you can't call it a classic.
All right.
Agreed.
And
It
this is
doesn't
my
work
thing.
like that.
I was saying to people, you put on Doing It Wrong today and tell me you want to listen to that. I said, don't get me wrong. I had nostalgia with that out. Like, bro, I was in like year 9 or year 8 when that dropped. Like, and I remember singing the motto, like even the motto. I can't, as a 23-year-old man.
No,
I can't
only in the
that's
club.
the
I
motto,
guess.
nigga, YOLO. No,
Yeah.
that's no, bro. That's dead. I'm sorry. I don't want to hear that.
Oh man, see, I think that's what the 90s has over the classic criteria, because another thing I guess the 90s has as well, if we're calling out the golden era, is that it was still young. So not that it's the same in skill, but it's quite analogous. It's you look at the UK scene now, it's young, so everything that's coming out now seems like the best to do it because it's still very innovative. And I think that's the same with the 90s, where it's like it's been like rap started in like late 70s, like just at the end of the 70s. Now you've got 10 years deep into it. Okay, cool. People are established. People know what they're doing. And then now you're seeing the NWA come out. You're seeing Tribe Called Quest come out. You're seeing Far Side come out.
Yeah.
You're seeing De La Soul come out. You know what I mean? All these groups coming out. Wu-Tang. It's like, I think that's not a surprise. I feel like because the genre was young, there was so much more room for creativity. And I think even now, like, even though some of them might sound dated, I can still say, no, this is definitely a fuck it. Like, if this, like, because the thing is, one thing people got to remember is you're listening to it in 2020, where there's been, like, 30 years of music development. Like, imagine all the music development that is not present, and that came out. It's like, what the fuck's going on? Like, I think that's why I really like Low End Theory by Tribe Called Quest, because when I listen to that, I'm like, what the hell is the like, how the fuck did they do this? Like, this is some, honestly, like, amazing shit.
Everything is fair. Check the rhyme. Oh my life.
Like, everything's it's like, I can't believe this came out in like 91. I can't believe it. Like, it doesn't even make sense.
When I first heard that album, I was like 10. I think I was 10 or 11. And like, I remember my dad playing it on his vinyl, and I was like, blood, what the heck?
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, honestly, like it's insane.
Check the rhyme with the little bounce, and I was doing it. Yo, my shoulders bopping left to right. Listen, best believe.
Even Scenario as well. It's just like these songs, like
Scenario,
like, just like
100%.
And even what's it called? I think it was Questlove even said like a lot of the Roots sound was inspired by Tribe Called Quest, and obviously the Roots were around in the 90s as well, and definitely kind of found their own in the late 90s. And I think there's no surprise that's like there's just so much more room to be like, okay, cool, like this is a new thing, or rapping at this speed is the new thing, or talking about this thing is the new thing. And again, like Illmatic was one of the first albums that kind of brought the two worlds together. I think, do you know what it is? In my opinion, I think if Aquemini came out before Illmatic, it would have been seen as the best album of all time, because that was the first time where an artist really kind of just put the street side of things and like the introspective side of things together in a really cohesive project. I just think they were just, obviously it came out like 5 years later, 4 years later, so obviously fair enough. But yeah, I think there was just so many
So
things
are you guys Aquemini over AT Aliens?
Oof, toss up, but I'll put Aquemini. But it's a toss up though. It's a toss up.
That's fine. That's fair.
Yeah, like they're both just
What are you?
amazing albums.
I've got ATL Aliens on my wall, but I want to like because I collect vinyls, and when I get my vinyl,
The
I want to
Vinyl
get
Collective.
Aquemini first.
Yeah, go on, collect vinyls.
So, like, it's a toss up in it because there's bare bangers on ATL Aliens,
Yeah.
in it, like,
Yeah.
but it's bare bangers again. Like the art of storytelling. The art of storytelling, part one.
Part
I know you like part two.
I talked about this the other week.
I know you like
Yeah,
part
I talked
two,
about part
but
one.
part one, yeah.
Part
Oh
one. I'm part
my-
one.
Oh
Yeah.
my god!
It's a really good song. I listened
Yeah.
to it
I
last
say
week.
to
It's super
people,
good.
if you want to know why, because Andre 3000 is my favorite rapper of all time, yeah, just because of like his like the Love Below, even him as a person, just the way he carries himself, and like he's a free spirit in it. Like I just love doing like outlandish shit in it. Do you get me? So like, if I say to everyone, if you want to know why he's my favorite rapper of all time, listen to that song. Listen to that song and listen to that verse. The way he just weaves in that story of Susie Screw.
Yeah.
Oh, different.
Yeah.
Gosh.
We talked about the song the other week. Absolutely love it. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm recycling very old material.
No,
now,
it's
but
fine.
No,
No,
it's
fine.
good. It's
listening
good.
to
We
that,
love it. We
listening
love
to
it.
that, listening to that classic episode. Yeah, I said to you, Tops. I said, bro, you should have got me on there because when I can't remember who said it. You see, you watched The Throne.
Yeah, we both said it.
Listen,
Yeah.
I remember I was in a group chat. Yeah, one time, and we had to name like the top 10 albums of all time or something like that. Yeah, and I
You're
remember, I remember I never put Watch the Throne in there. And he's a bare Kanye man, you know, like bare like these men are unlike Kanye, blah blah. And then someone said to me, "How can you be in this group and that's not in your top 10?" I said, "Bro, what are you on about?" I said, "That album is it's not dead, but it's not good, man."
No,
I said, like, what it should have been what it originally was. It should have been a 5 to 7 track EP.
Agreed.
And that's what it should have just been. And it would, I would then call that perfect. And I'd say that's probably a 9 out of 10. If there's 7 songs on there that you can definitely say that is a sick album in it. But all in all, what it is, I think it's 15 tracks long with the deluxe, or 16,
something like that.
Like, I'm not trying to hear that.
I mean, like, let's delve into that further, because obviously we have, like, you know, arguably the greatest era in rap history, and then we get the 2000s, and we can't ignore the 2000s when we look at rap history. I mean, yes, you had DMX, but what else did you have? Okay, you had 50 Cent and you had The Game, but a lot of that era was fucking shite. Like, is what you know what it is about that era? I think it's just more. It is a development of hip hop. I think this is when people are starting to make money off the genre, like legitimate money, and you can see the people getting pimped out so hard. Like, some of these people, it's like you make this music video and there's a dance to it, or it's just really tacky. And I think Soulja Boy definitely was one of the people who kind of capitalized off that as well. But I guess if you look at the 2000s, is there any redeeming qualities to this decade of music? Is there any like music you look back at that time, you're like, you know what, minus Kanye, that you look back at?
No,
like,
not minus Kanye, because Graduation is the worst Kanye album.
Damn.
Graduation is riddled in like bling era rap, which is what makes it like I know it's some people's favorite, but for me it doesn't sound good, man. Drunken Hot Girls.
No, fair, I agree with that.
Do you know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm saying. So if we're saying like as an album, like it's so weird, because I could call it, like, if someone was to say to me, "Oh, how many sick albums has Kanye got?" I'd say, like, how many has he got now? He's got like 8. I'd say he's got 5 in it, and I'd say the first 5 are sick. I'd say Graduation is sick, you know. Like, this is why it's weird, but it's weird because it's his worst album because of the era that it came out of.
That's me. It's such a weird era because, again, I feel like there's just so much going on, because the early 2000s you had the Jay-Z and Nas beef, and a lot of that like first 5 years was defined by that. And then you got 50 Cent coming out like 2004, 2005 with The Game. And then after that, it just feels like it didn't end on a strong note. I feel like it was like a lot of like rap beef and a lot of rap groups coming out. You got G Unit coming out, and you know it's looking okay. And then you got the mid to late 2000s, and it's like, what's even going on here? Like, if Kanye didn't exist, like, this would be like a black hole, pretty much. What do you think?
When did Lil Wayne start coming out with like the Carters?
Lil Wayne came the Carter
mid to late
2000s. 2005. I want to say 4.
I'm gonna say 5.
I want to say 4. It probably is 5.
You know what?
Can we get a fact check on that? I don't know. Around then.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna run the numbers. So, what was your bets?
Mine was
said
4.
5.
Okay, so it came out 2004.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Damn it. Okay. Good
no worries. My thing was, as well, going back to your question, Tops, I think this is probably going to be a wild chat in it, but I just want to see what you like think in it. You see, when you're saying like obviously the 2000, like when it got to the 2000s, people were just confused. I think it was more of the fact of, obviously, Biggie and Tupac had literally, I know it's 3 years, but it technically just happened in it.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of labels probably were scared of something like that happening again.
Okay.
And I feel like rappers as well didn't kind of want that kind of thing. So I feel like they was trying to not, I know what I'm, you know, when you know what you're saying, but you don't kind of beat to think about. It's like, I think the way it was, I feel like at the time, I feel like it was basically just a weird space to be in if he was a rapper, because it's like you said, if there weren't if it wasn't for DMX, if it wasn't for, like, I know Jay dropped the Blueprint in 2001 and whatever.
Yeah, so
if it weren't for like I'm trying to think who else, like, do you know what I mean, like Jay, DMX and Nas, and 50 if you want to count him,
but
if
that's
he gets
early
2000, if he gets 2003, but like, who else was there? Like,
Yeah,
do you know what I
literally.
mean?
Yeah, there's
Like,
no one else. Yeah, that's the problem.
like so it's so I think it's kind of when you were saying like that's why the Biggie and Tupac thing jumped out to me, because when you were saying like rappers are getting pimped out and there has to be a dance to it, I feel like that's the reason why.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because that's what I wanted to get out in it. So yeah,
No, I kind
that's-
of get what you
I
mean.
think that's interesting. Yeah.
No, go on, John.
Oh, no, I
Like,
was just
that's
gonna
what-
say, yeah.
that's what I
Like
think anyway. In
like
it, but
Oh, we're speaking over each other. I was just gonna say, yeah,
Sorry,
I get you. I get you. It seems like it kind of went more like introspective. Like all of the rappers kind of like just focused on themselves, and that's what
Mhm.
brought out like the bling. You know, like the bling era, right?
Mhm.
Like, you know, kind of like me. This is what I've got. This is what I'm getting out of rap. Because a lot of the '90s, like you were saying, was so kind of like such an intense rivalry. That's what a lot of the rap was based off, wasn't it? Like the challenge of like being better than the other guy, being West Coast, East Coast, and then it kind of changed a bit, I guess.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
No, I get it. I think again, because I get what Six Pad's saying as well, because you gotta think these are two of the biggest artists, maybe even in the world. Like Tupac was like what Drake is today, like, and to see two people at the extreme peak of a genre just die within the space of 5 years, that I don't think that's ever happened in any genre before. Like,
Do you know
that
what's
is
mad,
mental
yeah?
shit. Like, I agree.
do you know what's mad? When XX Tentacion died, I was super sad. You know, like super sad because, all right, safe. Like, I don't know what it was with him, yeah. But have you guys listened to that Question Mark album?
No, I haven't.
No.
Listen, John, I think you'll like it. I think you'll really like it. Like, there's
The
loads
thing
of
is,
different.
I remember the first time I heard a song of his, and I went.
Yeah.
Me and Tots are living together in Nottingham. I remember this vividly. I went into your room. I was like, "Oh, just heard this song from this guy called I can't remember what song it was. Maybe it was like Jocelyn. What was
Jocelyn
that? person?
Flores.
Yeah, I went
Big
into
boy
your room. I
tune.
was like, "Rah, what is this? This is new. This is kind of cool." And I don't think you were too impressed, Tots. I think you'd really hurt. But anyway, let's move on. What was the question?
Yeah. I was saying like when he died, I was bare sad. And I was like, bro, it's not even like my favorite rapper. Like, do you know what I mean? And then when Mac Miller died, I remember one of my boys
Oh, don't.
one of my boys was bare upset, but obviously
soon
these
for
times
sure.
I didn't
That
listen
hits
to him,
me
so
still.
I was like, I don't really get it. But then imagine, like, I can't imagine now Drake and Kendrick dying, bruv. Oh, nah, my head would be spun.
Yeah.
My head would be spun.
That's
Yeah.
the thing. And like, if
Yeah.
we talk about modern day as well, I feel like modern day rap is so underrated. Like, yes, you do have some mum
100%.
rappers, but I think again, don't get me wrong, they do benefit from their like forefathers in the sense of like, you know, the baseline of like what hip hop is. But I think there's some people who have taken it to such extreme lengths. You kind of have to put them in the GOAT conversation. Again, Kendrick is one of those people where it's like, Kendrick has kind of mastered the art. Like, if Kendrick came out in the 90s, I still think he would have reached the peak he's in now. Like, I think he's just one of those artists where it's like, I think one thing that modern day rap has is that the lyricism is way better than the 90s. I don't care what album you're talking about. I don't care if it's a classic. The average level of lyricism, if you know there is one, is way higher now than it was back then. Some people just talking like, hey, you know, I'm cool and here's my shoes. And, you know, that was the thing. And don't get me wrong, that's fine. But today's rap, it's like, there's like little like internal rhymes, double entendres, all these little things like that just didn't really exist as much back in the 90s as well. So yeah, no, I just want to point that out.
Interesting.
I'm
Just
gonna
my
have to
weekly
explain
shout
that.
out for MF Doom. You know,
Oh,
early
yeah,
2000s.
2004,
Still doing
yeah,
better
2004.
lyricism than most people these days. But anyway, what are you gonna say, Six Pad?
I would have to disagree with you, Tops, you know,
Oh wow,
because
go on.
man had Andre 3000 in the night, isn't it? So
Oh, okay,
And-
fair again, but there wasn't many people like him, and even then he was kind of seen as a bit weird. Like, why is he doing that?
yeah, I hear what you're saying about Kendrick though. It's like it's like an Andre 3000. Like, drop him anywhere at any point, and he's gonna
be fine.
do the mad thing.
Yeah,
innit?
exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
I do understand that in it, but I think 90s, some 90s lyricism is so cold. Like,
yeah, no,
so
for
cold.
sure. I'm just saying, like, just the average. Like, don't get me wrong, you still get like even Jay-Z, like his rhyming scheme. You do definitely, or even like Nas, like you still get people who are like really, really good at it. But you're just talking about the average rapper in the 90s. It's not like it is today. No, I can't agree with that one. Like, there might be some things that are very thought-provoking and interesting, and that's makes good for good music as well. That has its own thing. But just in terms of like the poetry and how technical rap has become, I gotta give it to the modern day for that one. Like every time, every day of the week.
That's fair.
Oh, I don't know. I feel like some of the 90s is underestimated. Like guys like I mean, admittedly a one-hit wonder, but like, or like one album wonder, big pun. But like his album,
He's
Capital
seriously
Punishment.
Yeah,
That
he's
was
seriously cold.
Ooh,
Yeah,
the way
he's
that guy
yeah.
raps. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm
So
saying. Like, they
smooth.
definitely benefit from it's kind of like, you know what it is? It's kind of like right now where J Hus is just trying all the shit he can and people are going to like learn from that. Like you also got that other guy from Coventry, he's kind of like J Hus, but he's kind of taking it. Yeah, he's taking it in a different direction. Like, do you know what I mean?
Listen.
And he's cold, just what I'm saying. Like,
I am the
that guy.
closest to the mic as I possibly can. You see my family.
that's
Oh
a
my
banger.
day.
See, when I saw that song, I was like,
get
bruh,
me
like, yeah.
Oh
to
yeah.
a club. Get me
Yeah.
to a club. It's listen, bro. I'm smashing someone's head with a bottle, and I'm not even violent. I'm not even violent.
You know what it is?
Bro, the tune is mad.
The tune's
Oh
crazy.
my
The
god.
tune's crazy.
Oh, listen. Oh, I'm playing it after this.
No,
podcast.
that's what I'm saying. Like, someone's got to go out there, and this again, I think this is why we all are in agreement with the gang mixtape, because someone has to be the one to try it. Someone has to, push that boat out there,
course.
and it's not because they're gonna get it right, because someone else is gonna get it right. And I feel like this is the guy with J Hus, where it's like, I didn't really rate him too much, but once he dropped that My Family song, I was like, bro, like I don't even think J Hus could do this. I'm not gonna lie, like he's taking a different direction. Like he's just very interested. No, just
Have
a
you
little.
heard his mixtape that came out?
No, it just came out like a week ago. I haven't heard it yet, but it's on my
Yeah,
list.
yeah.
But no, one thing about that song that I always have to mention because it's so fucking funny is when that guy talks about he'll tell his girl to off her wig because they're going to war. Like,
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Bro.
that
Everything
was
about that song.
mental.
Everything
Yeah,
about that
that
song.
song's amazing. No, that song is
song's amazing.
yeah. That's probably one of the best UK songs this year, easily by far.
With Parsaloo though, yeah, you know what's peak? He like if you he don't look like him in it, but you see if you glanced at him and like looked away, you'd think it was Hush,
yeah, that's the thing. Yeah,
Because
100%.
I remember I looked at my phone and I was looking at the video and I looked up again because I thought I saw Huss in the video. And I was like, bro, it's my man.
Yeah.
Like, but I don't mean to be that guy. Like, oh yeah, all black people look the same.
No,
blah,
they're
blah,
both
blah.
Gambian as well, so I think it's fair.
But it's like they genuinely have like a similar kind of face. It's weird.
Yeah.
And the thing is, because he came out sounding like him, he actually came out like a meme, innit?
Yeah. People
is
are like,
kinda
oh,
peak,
who's this J
but
Hus
he's-
looking like? Yeah, people are
He's
cussing
a
him when he came
very
out.
good artist. Like, it's
Yeah.
weird.
He's a very good artist.
very good artist. innit?
Very, very good artist.
I respect him, innit?
Yeah, I think he might be. Honestly, I know it's quite early to call, but I feel like if he keeps doing what he's doing, he might be next up, like for sure.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
But with the Gang album as well, yeah, because I just thought you mentioned this as well.
Mm.
I think it's one of them albums that it's only been out a year. It's only been out what, a couple of months. Like
Yeah,
9
it came out
months.
like early this year. Like so yeah, it hasn't been
Yeah.
long.
I think if we come back to it in 5 years and people still don't like it, then I might have been wrong. I weren't wrong.
No, you weren't wrong, man. Stand your ground.
what?
Stand your ground.
Yeah, come on.
No. I'm standing my ground. I said I weren't wrong, but you get me.
Mm.
But it's one of them where I feel like it will. I feel like people will look back on it and be like, you know what, it wasn't that bad, you know.
Yeah, 100%. I agree.
Like I feel like you know what it was. It's because it's so far left.
And that's
Yeah,
it's true.
people weren't expecting it. They
Yeah.
didn't want it right then.
Yeah, their ears weren't tuned
Yeah.
to it. But I
Yeah.
think because it seems like all of us listen to quite different genres, quite a lot of music. So I think it didn't hit us like, whoa, like, what's he doing? So it's kind of like, oh, okay, he's trying something different. Where I think for a lot of people, if you only listen to fucking RV, Heady One,
that's
and
true.
like, that crew, it's like,
Of course,
what the hell
of
is
course,
this?
and-
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Like I had a guy in my mentions before, and he was like, yeah, you can't rate that Heady album, man. It's shit. I was like, why is it shit? I was like, why is it? I was like, why is it shit? He weren't he didn't do no drill on it. I said, bro,
Charades is a drill song.
like broaden
Don't talk about
horizons, man.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
it. Yeah.
It's not every day chase down the ups and talk about it, man. Like this is what I like. It's not that every day.
It's true. And I mean, look where it got him, innit? Like, come on, it's not.
Do you know what I
so
mean?
much, yeah.
Like that's what I'm saying. So sometimes it's just better to have an album where you can sit with and process what's going on in it and stuff. Yeah. But
No, I definitely agree with that. Yeah.
Mm.
I feel
think
like the
I
UK is
said a
stepping up
couple
in
years,
quality
yeah.
as well.
What was that, sorry?
Just this year.
I feel like the UK is stepping up in quality over the past
Yeah,
couple of
100%.
years
Yeah, that's me. I think
with
it's
with
maturing.
albums like Kano's like obviously I love
Oh,
Made in the
come
Manor
on.
with Hoodies All Summer,
Yeah.
Little Sims,
Yeah,
Grey
come on,
Area,
Speak Vibe.
Slow Tie,
Nothing great about Britain. Yeah.
Loyal Kana,
Yeah.
not Waving but Drowning. You got even people like, do you guys listen to Tom Misk?
No, I don't listen to
Tom Mitch,
it.
yeah, Tom Mitch,
Oh
yeah, I
my
like
god,
him.
tops. Go listen to Geography, man. What an
Alright,
album.
cool. Alright, cool.
Even
Put
like
on the list.
Blood Orange, Negro Swan.
Yeah.
Oh my days.
Oh
Banger.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. What an album. Yeah.
Like just the quality of UK music is stepping up, and I feel like a lot of people are just trying to box people into GRM Thursday 7
Link up,
o'clock.
yeah.
That's the premiere. You get me? Like it's good to have them songs, but do you know what I mean? Like man, broaden horizons.
Yeah.
innit?
Yeah. Shout out the Tom Misch album though. What kind of music? If people haven't listened to that, they need to listen. It's proper good. I think it's like a collab album with Yusef Days. He's like a drummer.
Yeah. I heard a bit of that. I weren't really into it.
Freddie Gibbs is on the album.
Oh, okay.
Oh, is
Okay,
he?
now you got my interest.
Yeah.
Now. That's cool. I was like,
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
I'm listening
Freddie
to that
Gibbs
then.
is on it. They have a song called Night Rider with Freddie Gibbs.
Okay.
It is. Oh, it's cold. It's cold.
Cool.
Yeah.
Make a note of that on my Spotify now.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think that's gonna wrap up. You know, it feels so short. It's already been an hour.
Oh,
But
yeah.
That's gonna wrap up this episode of the Vinyl Collective podcast. But before we go, as always, check us out on Spotify at the Vinyl Collective. We have our Spotlight series and our podcast Shazams. You know, if you've heard us mention the song, you'll find it there. We also have our Now and Then playlist. We add a song that's come out quite recently, and we had a song that's a bit of a throwback. So I think this episode's quite fitting for that. Wouldn't you say, John?
Yeah.
So why don't you kick us off?
Yeah. Okay. So a more current song, I'm going to go for "Trade It All" by Benny the Butcher
Yes.
from his
Good
new
lad.
album.
Good lad.
"Trade It All" is one of my favorite songs from that.
Okay.
It didn't get me immediately, but the production
Yeah.
on that song is it's pretty sick. Are you a fan of Benny the Butcher? Sixpad.
The Griselda are on my list also. It's because my friend, my YouTube friend Ebony JB, shout out to you. She done a series on them, and I was gonna do a series on them
Oh,
as
send
well.
that to me. I'll definitely want to read that.
Huh?
I'll definitely read that. Send that to me after this.
Yeah. No, she done a YouTube series where
Oh,
she's
okay,
basically
cool.
reacting to their albums and it. So I
Okay,
seen
cool.
it and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do it, but I'm not gonna do it around the time you're doing it, and I'm gonna give it I'm gonna give it months to breathe and
No worries.
and then
no
I'll do
worries.
it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, from what I did watch though, because I didn't want to watch too much, but obviously I had to still got to support my friend. You get me?
No
But
worries.
yeah, I didn't want to watch too much to give the album kind of away.
Yeah, no,
From what I
that's
did,
fair.
yeah, whew, I did like. I can't lie. I have heard. Is it the plugs I've met?
Yeah,
The plugs
banger.
plugs
Oh
I've met
yeah,
and that.
come on.
Yeah, I heard the
Yeah.
Pusha T song on that. Yeah,
Crazy.
crazy,
Yeah.
crazy,
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Go on, give us your Den song, John.
I'm gonna go because I mentioned him earlier. Big Pun, Glamour Life.
Okay, cool. No worries.
Yeah.
Cool. I'll go. So I'm gonna go start with the Ven song. It's Blue and MED. Drive-In.
Oh yes,
Really like that song.
that is a song.
That song is
Yeah.
amazing. Like, yeah, that song is great. Yeah, I found it quite recently. I didn't know Madlib had a whole project to them, so that sold me.
That album is so good.
Yeah, like once I heard that, I was like, this album is
Yeah.
definitely going to be sick. So
You know,
that-
Madlib's bringing out an album with Lil Kana as well.
Yeah, he's gonna bring out a song, isn't he?
Yeah.
Well, is it an album? Is
It's
it
a
an
song,
album?
it's a song.
Is it an album?
It's got to
Is
be
it just a song?
It's just a song. It's just a song. Because that would be
Nah,
crazy.
because they've marketed that with like he's got the Mad Loyal, like that could be the title. He's
if
got
they
even
do
got the
it,
cover
that
art.
would be a crazy
like-
crossover. If they do,
Do you get me?
Yeah,
like I feel like
100%.
it is. I feel like it is gonna be a little project, you know.
I mean, if they do it, I'm all ears, mate. I'm all ears. And now, you've probably seen it on my song of the day, but it's been in my head quite a lot. I'm gonna go "Where I'm Coming From" by Leela Ike. I don't know, but yeah, straight from Jamaica, mate. Like she is a
Yes.
phenomenal artist. Like more people need to listen to her. Like honestly, like if you like Jamaican music, if you just like music, mate, just give this album a listen. It's so good. It's called The Experience. So that'll be my now and then for this one. Last but not least, Sixpad, give us your now and then.
So I'm gonna go with for now. I'm gonna go with Loyal Kana Madlib Yesterday.
Okay,
I
cool.
really like that song. And then I'm gonna go with All About You from Tupac.
Okay, cool. First Tupac
and
song.
that listen, I've been playing that song like all weekend.
What's been
like-
going on?
Crazy bounce, crazy vibe. Yeah, when you told me obviously what kind of like the concept was for
Oh,
the
of course,
for the
of
episode, I just started relaying like albums, like All Eyes on Me. Oh my god,
Yeah, good album.
that album. Listen,
Well,
if
it was
that album
shorter.
was if that album was let's say 15 tracks, yeah,
Different.
I'd say it's the best album ever in it because there's no way you can have, what is it, 25 tracks long
And be good, yeah.
27,
and 27, and there's
Yeah.
only 5 skippable tracks on there. Nah, come on,
It's true.
come on, it's crazy. It's crazy.
No, I agree.
Like, it be in the running. So yeah,
No,
but
for
those
sure.
are my 2 songs in it.
Cool. Yeah, again, that wraps up the episode. Find us at Vinyl Collective Pod on Instagram, TVC Pod on Twitter. Hopefully one day they'll be the same. That's quite annoying. But if you want to send in an email, tell us about what, which era is the best. You can send us a message at vinylcollectivepod@gmail.com. And obviously, before we leave, Sixpad, shout out your socials. Shout out the 9
Yeah, so Sixpad UK on Twitter and Instagram, Sixpad on YouTube, number 6 and then PAD, and then follow me on Clubhouse if you've got Clubhouse. And yeah, that's what. And check out my series on Instagram, at Sixpad UK, Monday Madness.
So funny.
John, I think you might like that. As well.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
man,
I'm googling that now.
What was it, the Kanye one? I was like, you know what? If you don't pick Devil in a New Dress, I'm gonna get angry. Like, and he
So you
did.
just
I was very
you just
happy about that.
You just ruined my whole thing, Like, you just ruined the whole episode. For
Oh
someone.
yeah, no, but sometimes it's good to see the fights, man. It's good to see the fights.
of course.
But yeah,
of course,
no,
of
like
course, of course.
no, yeah, obviously, check out his Monday Madnesses. I love them. I hope more of them come out. I would love to come on one though. Obviously, not calling you up, but yeah, that
Yeah,
would be
man. Nah,
so fun.
I definitely want to try and intertwine people. What I want to try and do as well is try to do like a producer one. So I want to do because obviously I don't make them.
Yeah,
A guy makes them for me, and I said to him like, we need to start doing like Pharrell, Timbaland, Kanye, but I want to do like their productions, like DJ, like all of that, because I feel like that's something. But then I'm trying to bring another thing to Instagram as well soon, which I think I can definitely get people involved in.
cool. No worries.
But
Hope to see it.
You're a busy guy.
hopefully. Yeah, man. Listen, I'm trying, man. I'm trying to
hustling, man.
fly out to like Dubai every week, innit? Even though I don't want to go there.
Dubai madness.
Yeah.
See you up on the plane. We'll see what happens, innit?
I'm trying to turn left, innit? I'm trying to go to first class. That's what I'm trying to do.
Exactly.
So,
Man. Cool,
the
man.
only
Yeah.
way to do that is working hard. So yeah.
Yeah, thanks for having us, man. Cool. That was good. I feel
Thanks for having us. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, it's always good when the guest comes on, man. Also, give us your time. Like, no, it's fun. But yeah,
Yeah, man.
Cool.
It's cool, man. Invite me back anytime,
of
John.
course. No,
I'm gonna follow you on Instagram now. Me and you are now friends.
on.
Listen, Tops. I can't lie to you. Is a bit higher now.
Oh god,
Just his music though. His music. His music. Here.
he's an
is like
old
mine,
soul.
innit?
That's what it
Now.
is, man. John's just a bit of an old soul, mate. Like,
Yeah, nah. You know how you called him a music snob? I like to feel like I
Yeah.
am.
yeah, it's true. He is.
I
man.
like to
He
feel
thinks
like
I'm
I
an
am, innit?
elitist, and I am.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah, but the thing is,
Yeah,
he's
that's
quiet
fine.
about it. John acts like he's such a nice guy, but really he's a bit of a prick as well when it comes to music. But I feel like you're just a bit outward with it. So that's the thing. Like, John gets you with like, oh yeah, I think it's all right. But deep down, he thinks Mozart's a shit, mate. But yeah, we're gonna close it.
I had a whole thing about current artists, but maybe another week.
Maybe another week. Don't
Listen, just bring me back when
Yeah, no, I
Drake
mean,
drops an album.
the video
and when
episode
Ghostface
will get
drops
you
an
on.
album,
And
What, the video episode?
yeah, the video
Yeah,
episode will get you
I'm on that. I'm on that. You know what? I'll be on that, and I'll if could you do 4 guests?
Yeah, of course I can. We can do as
I'll
many guests as we
invite
want.
my friend. Yeah, who put me onto Voodoo in it, and like we would just basically tell you like, yeah, it's the best thing I've heard.
All right, cool. No worries. Till then.
Yeah,
All right,
Look out for that.
cool, man.
yeah, definitely.
Anyways, thanks you guys for listening. Hope you enjoyed our convos, yeah. And yeah, see you guys next time. It's a wrap.